Okay, we play a game called Am I Doing
here
It
we go.
Right? It's the conceit of the show. One thing that you are actively working on.
One thing I'm actively working on. That's a good question. Well, as you know, I bought I always drove shitty cars. You know, I had a Toyota Prius for 13 years.
Yeah.
I was putting 2 kids through college, trying to save for retirement. You know, and definitely a state of what did you call it before when you see yourself as being not having enough?
Scarcity.
Scarcity. I was in a scarcity mindset. And then my kids are done with college, or my daughter's maybe got a couple years left. And I went out and I bought a Mustang. I wanted a Mustang since I was 5. You
said
a
sure
Matchbox
did.
car. I just wanted a Mustang. I looked at, like, I would look at Mustangs the way other guys check out women. I would just, my head would turn. I mean, try every Mustang. And so I bought one. I bought a Mustang 2 months ago. And then.
You were fucking stoked.
Yeah. Beautiful car.
It's a beautiful car.
Thursday night, I'm driving to a gig, and a guy flies into the side of it, crushes the side of the car. And I got out, and I was so mad.
Did you take it out on him?
Well, he pulled into the lot, and then I backed into the lot, and I got out, and I screamed "fuck" at the top of my lungs like 3 times. And then I was
You gotta get the energy out.
yelling. I literally yelled. I go, I always drove shitty cars. And then 2 months ago, I finally got it. I always wanted a Mustang. And you hit it. And then I went, I'm sorry.
Dude.
Damn. I was like, I'm sorry for yelling at you.
But in that moment, aren't you like, what the fuck is God trying to tell me? Like, what is the universe trying to tell me?
Yeah, it told me that I don't deserve good things. That was my first reaction. My second reaction was, if he had turned 1 second earlier, it would have been a head-on collision. I could have really been hurt. Number 2, he was a very decent guy. It wasn't a hit and run. He had good insurance. He admitted 100% faults. The car got picked up the next 2 days later on a pickup truck and taken away, where the insurance company did a fair estimate. I got a nice rent-a-car. And in 3 weeks, I'll have my car back. And I just said, and it made me appreciate my relationships. And I had a lot of gratitude. And I realized it was because I was so afraid of this happening. I was so, like, Erin scratched it a little bit, and I got so mad. Not at her, just mad. And I thought, this is an unhealthy thing, that an object could control my emotions.
Yeah,
like
that
this.
kind of attachment.
And I think that kicked off a gratitude thing that I've had. And I've told a couple people that I love them, that they're not people I normally say I love you to.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I'm ready.
I love you.
You know what? I love you too. That's nice.
Yeah.
And honestly, everything that you were just talking about directly relates to what I was saying in the opening of, like, if you're operating from that space of yearning and lack and scarcity, and if you can reframe into a space of gratitude, like, let's think about how all the ways in which I'm so deeply lucky in this
How many
situation.
things can go wrong every day? People have migraines. I don't have migraines.
Yeah.
There's so many crippling things that can happen to you.
Oh my God.
You could have a sibling or a parent with dementia.
Totally.
You
Oh
know,
my God, being in good health and the people around you being in good health, that alone.
It's crazy.
Thank your lucky
how
stars.
lucky we are.
Yeah, it's insane.
And as soon as one of those things goes wrong, you're going to look back and you go, what was I stressed out about?
That's exactly it, right? Like, as somebody who's been through some real fucking shit in their life, and I have also been through some real fucking shit in my life, I often think about that. I'm like, one day the rug is really gonna get pulled out from under me again, because that's life, and that's what it is to be a human being. And I don't wanna look back on this time and think you just squandered that time that you could have been joyful and happy, when actually everything was working in your favor. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think sometimes you need that frame of reference. You know, everybody's sort of operating within the like spectrum that they have experienced personally, and as that spectrum broadens, ostensibly you're given more perspective to be able to deal with it. But I still get caught up in my own shit sometimes. I have to remind myself, like, no one's dying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
Your
my
health isn't
friend
on the
Neil
line.
does a gratitude list twice a day. And it's like, it really is like so many different, teachings about mental health or about lists, gratitude lists.
Okay. When I burnt out a few years ago and I was still at masterclass and I left, I was so depressed. I was so depressed that I said to Ian, we're going to go over it by a few minutes. I was so depressed that I said to Ian, like, if you want to divorce me, I get it. Like, you're not the woman, I'm not the woman that you married. I can't even access her. I don't know if she's ever coming back. I was terrified.
Yeah.
And I left and I decided to really recommit myself to my spiritual practices. I recommitted myself to my meditation practice and I started a gratitude journal. And I swear to God, I meditated every morning and I did the gratitude journal at night. And within 5 weeks, it felt like my brain had been rewired.
Yeah.
So much so that my therapist was like, are you microdosing and not telling me? And I was like, no, bitch, this is just me.
Wow.
And I will tell you, like, so often the stuff that works, I know you meditate, I know you do yoga, I know you have practices, the gratitude journal, it is crazy what it will do.
Yeah. Does it get redundant or it doesn't matter if it gets redundant?
It doesn't matter. And actually what happens is I found that in the beginning, it starts out really general. You're like, I'm grateful for my health and I'm grateful for the sunshine and whatever. And then your brain starts looking for all these like small experiences in your day to day and it gets hyper specific. And so it actually doesn't get redundant because you're like, I'm really grateful for like the smile that I exchanged with that stranger. I'm really grateful for this like one tiny moment in time. And you're picking up on that all day long. And so you're existing in this space.
Can I tell you what I'm grateful for? What happened today?
Yeah.
Well, besides this, I was driving and a guy, and I've got this car they rented me. It's this giant GMC truck. So I'm not used to handling something that big. I'm used to my Prius. And so I'm trying to get over to the right. And there's a guy who's a good 30 feet back.
Yeah.
And I put on my directional and I just see him racing up to close the gap. And I just went, hey, I'm in a 30-foot car. I just slowly moved over. And then he was riding my ass. And then I got to, when you're going down Bundy and you make a right onto the 10?
Yeah.
There's a no turn on red sign.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, made the light yellow as I was pulling up. And I slowed down and I crept. As it was turning yellow, I crept. And then I turned just as it turned red, and he just honked and he got stuck at the light. And I was like, I felt this rush of positive energy flow through my body. It was so serendipitous.
Okay. Yeah, that's one version of gratitude for sure. It's so funny because I was telling you over text that, I drive a little Audi sedan, as you know, and I got rear-ended pretty badly, and so it was in the shop for a long time, and my rental was a Jeep Wrangler. And I felt like I stepped into a different identity, like overnight. All of a sudden, my name was Tammy. All I was wearing was cowboy boots and cut-off jean shorts and my baseball cap everywhere I went. And there's something about being in a car that's that big. A Jeep Wrangler is like one of the big Jeeps, Something about being in a car that's that big that you can also kind of like, I see how people in big cars become bullies.
Oh, people.
Because you're just kind of like, you're obviously going to move out of the way for me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want to get run over.
There's a lot of guys that when I see a pickup truck, I just get out of their way because I know that they're not going to merge. That they're going to.
They can barely even see you.
They tailgate you. Like they're so fucking aggro, and they've got their wraparound sunglasses, and they're from Orange County, and there's like an extra wheel in the back. There's 4 wheels in the back instead of 2. It's like, and there's nothing in the back ever.
Yeah. What are you picking up?
Christmas tree once a year. That's why you have this $80,000 truck.
No, it's it's to show people that they obviously have a huge dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
What age are you in your head?
32.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It's a good age for guys.
Yeah.
Something you love about yourself without reservation.
I guess I'm being reserved right now when I say it. I'm not feeling great about myself at this moment.
Oh, Greg.
Not in a horrible way. It's just more that I feel shut down a little bit. What do I guess?
I can give you something.
What?
You have a real generosity of spirit.
Oh, that's nice.
You really do.
All right.
I mean, I know that you get like the nice guy label a lot, which is maybe a little bit of like
it's almost condescending.
A double-edged sword.
Yeah.
But I think what you actually are is like you you have just like a really incredible capacity for connection and kindness and humor, and you're open to other people, and you're one of those comedians who like laughs at other people's jokes. And you have a sort of like, I don't know, I always feel like a joie de vivre from you.
I love that. I'll take that. I think you summed it up.
You are also my lord, so I have to be nice. Last
By the way,
question.
stop looking me in the eye.
I'm so sorry.
Down and away.
Last question, and maybe I should be looking down for this. Have you ever heard me and Ian having sex?
Yes.
Oh my God. Like many times?
No.
Just once?
Once, maybe twice.
Well,
Yeah.
then, babe.
But congratulations. It was Olympic. I almost didn't charge you for rent that month.
Well, then, babe, marching orders. We gotta try harder.